Hello and welcome. So I'm going to take a look at the Times quick cryptic crossword, and this is the one being published on Saturday the 19th of April 2025, and it's been set by Cheeko. So I had a little look, I kind of thought, oh, I'm not sure Cheeko's a great name. So I had a little look back at my records, and the two puzzles this year have been 20 minutes and 40 minutes. If I recall rightly, Cheeko tends to do a little bit of a thing where he takes, I assume it's he, this clue, these six-letter clues into the middle, say, are all anagrams of each other, um, or something like that. Hasn't always occurred, but occasionally there have been. I think they've only done about 6 puzzles total. But you can see the clock's up to 16 minutes now, and the reason for that is I thought, oh my word, when I first came in, I did my screenshot for the title card and whatever, and I thought, oh, I think I'll go make a cup of tea. I'll do some morning ablutions, and here I am 16 and a half minutes later thinking, right now I'm going to actually have to tackle it. So time to reset the timer and crack on. In the morning, gripped compass. You would think that's in the morning is AM. Compass, no idea. Okay, hated communist encapsulates wickedness. Wickedness. You'd think that's a red. Wickedness, evil, resigned. Okay, so red. Wickedness is evil, reviled. Now, okay, take that. Release one French jerk tick. Release unfree, uncouple, untie, something like that. Notes a few minutes. Let's have a look at this first. Energy Providers Centre opening in May. Provider Centre is Vim now. Energy Vim. Okay. Notes a few minutes sent over. So that's going to be back, isn't it? A word backwards sent over. A few notes. A few. Some sonnet. Motet. Motet. Tito. T2. I think that's motet. No, it can't be notes. Okay, let's go on. Perhaps bone is a mess. Bone is a message. It's 9 letters. We're looking for a 10-letter clue. Perhaps bone is a mess. Gosh. Welcome in first of trainees in brief inspection. So first trainees is T. Brief inspection is an. Whoa. Static rates should change with time. Static rates should change. So it looks like an anagram rates with a T at rest. I think it's static. Welsh towns drunk part blotto. Welsh towns drunk part blotto. I mean, Welsh towns is 10 letters. Part blotto. Fly back, retaining a western accent. So you'd think that's fly accent is a twang. Yep, twang and a nat going backwards. Gosh, Greek character grabs vulgar Canadian liberal. I've got no idea what I'm doing there. What vulgar is? Canadian liberal. Are we talking about the name of an actual one? Don't know. C for, I think that's probably CL. But then character grabs. Rude. Rude. Okay. Trudeau. Okay. Trudeau. So we've got Tau, haven't we? Trudeau. Tau. Yeah, with rude in it. Okay. Present first half of demo. Standing by organ. Present is D. Organ is deliver. Present. Okay. Additional member of cast doing little. Extra. Don't know about that. Extra. So look at this. Tuba. Tuba and a butt starts to take up. Yeah, that's a cross tick. So let's give it extra. This one, joke cigars, ultimately wrapped in black. Jest. Okay, so it's got to be additional member cast. Doing little is extra. Not very keen on that, but there we go. What's this? Gov. Must be Gov, mustn't it? Backing bosses the Gov. Backing essentially why Gov'll save Hugo. Essentially is the V. G. I'm just wondering if it's GU or GO. That's the problem. Backing. Hugo. Boss. GU. GU, I think, because of that GU in Hugo. Okay. Not nice. Okay, let's have a look at the downs. More of the downs anyway. So this one here was nearly miss over border. That un doesn't look good. Nearly miss. Nearly missing, sorry. Over border. Hem. Hem lip. I'm surprised to be embraced by British Nobel laureate. I'm surprised to be embraced by British Nobel laureate. I think that's a B, wouldn't you, for British? Nobel laureate would be. Okay, so I'm surprised is wow, my core. Oh, I think that's Bohr, isn't it? I think that's Bohr. Niels Bohr. I'm going to leave the R out for now. That's a toughie. Gosh. Italian stronghold in Otranto periodically offers retaliation. Well, we got tit for tat. I think tit for tat is going in there. Fort. Yeah, I think that's tit for tat. I'm going to go with it. Is that an ambit? A range? Gripped. Bit. I think it's ambit then. Okay. What's this? Jerk is hitch. Hitch. Jerk. Hitch. Okay. Ambit. So what's this over here? Nearly missing. Over border. Nearly. Oh, there's not a lot goes in there. Come back to that. Hackneyed. Output on the subject of mess. Rehash, I suppose. Hackneyed is rehash. Rehash, yeah. Being on the subject of him done. Mourned for soldiers among deceased 500. So 500 is D, isn't it? Soldiers mourned, lamented, men, lated, late D, okay, deceased. Gosh, some wordplay here. I'm just looking at rest and rehash as being vaguely similar, but not quite. But two T's got sort of two H's, two T's. Separate record on damaged tree. You would think that's a reet. Separate is to discrete. Disc is a yep. What's this? Mumps. A few minutes sent over. Notes. Minims. Memos. Some. Literally some. Okay. Love that. This was, gosh, what's this? Perhaps bone is a mess. Bone. Faults. False. Loss. Loss leader. Can't be loss leader. Okay, let's have a look at the downs. Preface reduction somehow. Somehow. Is that an anagram reduction? No, because reduction. Yeah, it is reduction. Preface is introduce, isn't it? Okay, I'll go with that. That's nice. Criminal studied entrance to prison in question. Criminal is con. Studied is con. Entrance to prison is con. In question. Competed. Con. In question. What is the anagram of studied? Yeah, it might be studied with a P. In question is up. Make repairs along said passage. Make repairs. Is that an aisle of some sort? Lecherous type lowers large goat. Okay, so we need to move an L. letters type. Lowers large. I think that's put an L down to get, which can only go there really, can't it? They're all there. Coat would be a an answer I don't know. I've done all the other downs. Good. Okay, well that's goodish, but also leaves me in a bit of a Welcome in first to trainees. There's my T for trainees. Brief inspection. Welcome. This one. Let's hope I can get this one. Welsh town. Oh gosh. Drunk Part Blotto. Oh, okay, it's just around Part Blotto, isn't it? Port Talbot. Look at this. Port Talbot. Talbot. There's my L. Coat probably isn't going to be like the name of goat. It's more like going to be like a coating, like plating. Ulster. Is Ulster a coat? Luster. Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with luster being correct. Ah, there's my P. Prison. In question. Reported, deported, con. Yeah, there's going to be con, is it? Let's try studied as an anagram. So S-T-U-D-I-E-D. Let's cross off some letters, get rid of the T and the D. Leaves me S-U-I-E-D. Probably the E's going to go there if there's an E anyway. Subhighted, posited, no. Let's have a look at this one. Not this one, that one there. Make repairs a long said passage. Make repairs. Rehearsal, Gosh. Fairly happy with the unhitch. And nearly miss. Overboarder. One in French is une, so that must be a UN. So what I've got here nearly misses a. I'm not keen on down clues if I understand. A bun, a mun. A hug. Nearly missing. Aqua. Border. Aqua. Gosh, what's going on here? Is AM bit right? AM bit. Compass. Is compass? In the mornings AM. Grip is bit. I'm sure bit's right. Maybe AM isn't right. But it should be. Missing is a wall is absent. It's a word meaning nearly a but now. About without an O. There we go. I'm going to go bore on that one because I haven't got anything better to put in there. Perhaps bone is a mess. Gosh, what's that? Winger? No, winner. Winner. Thinner, tinner, ginner, jointer, joint. Perhaps bone. There's only so many things I'll fit. Dinner, dog's dinner, that is. Oh, dog's dinner, yeah. Sometimes known as a dog's breakfast in crossword land. Dog's dinner, so it just leaves me with these three down here. 13 minutes, so it's not bad, is it? Criminal. Studied is con. Entrance to prison is P in question. But that doesn't work, so I think that's got to be in question. Let's write that out horizontally and have a something like P, something T. I'm going to put a TED, I think that's probably likely. So D U. I haven't got D U. Have I? Study. I've got two D's. Studied. S-U-I-E-D. S-U-I-D, sorry. Sidestepped. No. There's only going to be a disputed. Disputed, there we are. Disputed, okay. Welcome in. First of trainees in brief inspection is welcome. Intro. Welcome in. And this one, make repairs. Is that a hit? Yeah. Is that some kind of anagram? Not sure. Something R, something A, something L. Really thought it should be a passage, a hall. Is that a hall? Make repairs. A long said passage. Four hall, cool hall. Right, I'm going to put it on pause while I have a think to myself. Okay, I'm back. I think it's invite going in there, so welcome is to invite. In view being the brief thing with the T in it, and then this will be an overhaul. So there we go, I think. Let's go with that. Completed 22 minutes. Okay, so long 6 minutes there at the end. And actually, while I was doing that, I noticed that we've got a but here and tuber. So those are anagrams of each other. Then we've got reviled and deliver here. So they're little anagrams of each other in the corner. So I did say Cheeko does something like that. It wasn't in the middle ones this time, it was there. Invite was hard without that V and overhaul. I haven't really looked at that. Overhaul, make repairs is to overhaul. A long said passage. A long over the hall. I said hall, I think, but yeah, not sure about that. Okay, let's go through because that was a bit tough, wasn't it? Really. In the morning is AM, fair enough. And if something gripped, it bit. You know, you trying to get some purchase on something, then you finally managed to get a grip on it. You managed to get it bit. Hated is reviled. We've got communist is a red, R-E-D. Encapsulating, so holding evil for wickedness. Fair enough, that's a good solid clue. Release is to unhitch. One in French is jerk is a hitch. I mean that's a tough jump to make if you haven't got some clues in there. But there we go. Right. Notes on memos, as in memorandums, I think. A few is some. M for minutes. Turn that over, gives you some M backwards. Memos. Perhaps bone. Well, a dog's dinner might be a bone, and the phrase dog's dinner or dog's breakfast means it's a bit of a mess. Welcome is to invite. First of trainees is a T. Going in a brief inspection. So we've got in, and then I think the inspection is a view without W. That's how I see that one. Static is at rest. We've got an anagram of rates. Should change as your anagram indicator, and then T for time. The Welsh town of Port Talbot is an anagram of part blotto, and drunk is your anagram indicator. A fly backwards is a gnat. Retaining W for Western. Accent is a twang. Fair enough. Greek character is tau, T-A-U. Quite late in the Greek alphabet, I think. Grabs vulgar, which is rude, which gives us Trudeau, so Canadian Liberal. I mean, Pierre Trudeau in the 70s, I think, and his son Justin Trudeau has just finished as the Canadian president. What do we got? Present is to deliver. First half of demo is DE. Standing by the organ. Liver is an organ. Additional member of the cast is an extra. Doing little is extra. We've got nearly missing over. So we've got nearly is about. So that's nearly that's inaccurate, but it's nearly that. Missing over gives you about, which is to a but, which is a border. And actually, when I was looking at tuber, I was wondering if has tuber got the same kind of clue. Let's go back. Starts to take up. No, it's just an acrostic, because sometimes you get that as a clue, that tuber and a but, whichever way it wants to go. Oh, I'm surprised is O. To be embraced by BR for British gives you Bohr. I think that's how to say it. I think it's Niels Bohr, who was a Nobel laureate. I'm not sure that he was British though. I think Danish would be my guess if I were going for it. Physicist, I believe. Italian stronghold is an IT fort. Going in the periodic letters. So we've got TAT, second, fourth, and sixth letters of Otranto. Periodically is taking that. So put IT fort into tat, so the T there and the AT at the end gives you retaliation, tit for tat. Hackneyed is a rehash. Hackneyed output is a rehash. On the subject of is re, and mess is a hash. Made a hash of that, you made a mess of it. Energy is Vim. Provider's center is the VI, I think. Yeah, three letters. Provider gives you VI. Opening in May is M. Vim. Okay, poor. Mourned is lamented. Soldiers are men. Among deceased is late, and then D for 500. Latin numbers. Separate is discrete. A record is a disc on damaged trees. So we've got an arrow of tree, as indicated by damaged. The preface or preface is to introduce. If you preface something, you introduce it. Reduction is an anagram of introduce, and somehow is your anagram indicator. Criminal studied is saying us there's an anagram of studied, with the P from entrance to prison. So P, studied P, gives you disputed, which is in question. To make repairs is to overhaul. A long said passage. A hall is obviously a passage, double L. Overhaul, I don't really see where over comes from in that clue. Along, over the hall. Don't like that. Overhaul. Said passage. No, don't like that. For the QC anyway. Lecherous type is luster, I'm guessing, because the L has moved down, and that gives you the Ulster overcoat. Joke is J. Joke is a jest. Ignore that comment there. Joke is a jest. Cigars ultimately, so take the S. Wrap it in black, which is jet. Starts to is saying there's an acrostic of take up bronze age, and the tuba is an instrument. And finally, backing. We've got backing. Essentially, gosh, we've got a wow. Backing is saying go backwards on the essential letters of Hugo are the GU, and the essential letter, the middle letter of saved, is a V. Put that backwards gives you GUV for gov. Wow, that's a complicated question. So, given that they're not meant to be as difficult cluing in the QC as they are in the 15x15, I think that's a bit tough. So anyway, there we go, 2205. Pleased to complete that. Thanks for watching.